Hi, how's it going? Just like to have a random chat about Star Wars and, well, other such subjects. Been thinking about all this backlash and The Last Jedi and everything. Me personally, I'm not involved with politics of any form and don't care much for it. And yet, this is what seems to be going on. It's a bit boring, to be honest. Do I care if there's a female lead? Do I care if there's black people in the movie or whatever? No, of course not. As long as the story's good. But at the same time, we have to accept the fact that, unfortunately, Star Wars is in the hands of Disney, and they will take it in whatever direction they want to. George Lucas was the person who created it, and he took it in his direction. Say what you like about the prequels. The prequels were, in essence, George Lucas's story, and he did stick to the story, and the story did have a great deal of coherence. I didn't like the prequels that much, but I'd watch them again, and yeah, definitely watching Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is a very enjoyable movie, very dark, you know, but obviously the original trilogy is in a Premier League of its own. Now, Last Jedi, my main problem with The Last Jedi, which has to be said, is not only the plot is incoherent, it's just, it has no respect for the legacy. None whatsoever. Now, you've got basically 7 films before that. They've got a running story going on. Rian Johnson should have paid a little bit more attention to the details. Unfortunately, it was just a made up mess. It's fair to say that the film is a propaganda mess. Is a bit of a propaganda film. That's pretty obvious. To this day, I still don't understand why Admiral Holdo has to risk other people's lives just because she's in charge. I mean, seriously, is that completely stupid? If that was a bloke that was in charge, yeah, it was make no difference. It's still rebel, you know. So, but the whole plot is a complete and utter mess. And yeah, I'll say, like just everybody else will say, I was really gutted when Luke Skywalker died at the end. I was depressed about it. That's the thing with this. I mean, I watched Han Solo, the Han Solo movie, and I personally really enjoyed it. It's not anywhere near the best Star Wars movie, but I still think it was pretty good. If fans want to boycott the movie, great. That's fine. My choice is my choice at the end of the day. I wouldn't say that the Solo movie deserves the Cameron the critics gave it. It's just kind of good, but not great. You know, that droid in the movie, that has to be said. That droid was irritating. I could not stand that droid, and whatever's going on with Lando, or Pando as they call him, that was just weird. I mean, I don't know why everything has to be shoved in to every single movie and everything. It just gets boring, you know. If you want to do some people kick off about like Dunkirk, saying, oh yeah, there's loads of white people in this movie and there's no blacks. Well, it's a historical movie, and when you consider the historical facts as regards that point in the movie, it was basically Europeans, essentially. So Yeah, you might get one or two black people in that period of time, but there would have been a minority at best. So, why? Where's the complaining? If you made a movie full of white people and it was in the middle of Africa called Zulu, then yeah, I think, to be fair, that is being a bit racist or whatever. It's being stupid. As regards Star Wars, the real question you have to ask is, if Kathleen Kennedy or Rian Johnson go, where does it go from there? You've got plenty of people that have written some amazing fan fiction. I mean, the Expanded Universe or the Legends series has got amazing stories, and it's very creative. Personally, I think the best future for Star Wars is going Old Republic or into the far future after the Star Wars movies. You see, you can then have a real proper fresh characters with no connections to the legacy. I mean, you think about it. Darth Revan, for example, the Old Republic, he's a fan favourite. That's a fact. Everyone loves that story. Why? Because it's a great story. And yet, it's a brand new character. The Old Republic series has absolutely nothing to do with the original trilogy. Nothing. There is no connection. And this is the brilliant thing about it, is you can get fresh characters. You can tell real brand new stories. Yes, there's loads of stories to tell in Star Wars, but you get with brand new characters, I mean completely fresh characters without any relation to the Skywalker legacy, etc. Means that, yes, you can have a decent Star Wars movie with Jedi, Sith. I mean, let's face it, nobody's actually ever seen on the big screen yet an army of Jedi fighting an army of Sith, which would be awesome. Let's face it, that's got to be put on the big screen at some point, you know. I mean, no, that sounds a bit simple-minded, but hey, that is definitely worth seeing. There is lots of things you can do with Star Wars, obviously. I mean, you could do even the birth of the Jedi, etc., or something interesting. I mean, there's the Mandalorians. There's so much more to the Star Wars universe. Personally, I do like Star Wars. I think it's great. Something like a passion. But at the same time, if unfortunately the people at the top decide to ruin it, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rebel. Heck, I'm probably not going to watch episode 9, because at the end of well, sorry to keep repeating myself, episode 9 holds no interest to me whatsoever. The characters have just not really been well established. Rey is a boring character, unfortunately. I know it's a fact. Everyone will say that. She's got massive force powers without any training, and so plus Kylo Ren being the main villain, we already know that she can beat him. So where's the threat? Where's the danger? There is no danger. After the Empire Strikes Back, Luke was thoroughly defeated by Darth Vader. Luke had to go back and train some more to be a match for Darth Vader. And Darth Vader was a frightening villain. Kylo Ren, not so much. In fact, as I regard him as Attack of the Clones Anakin Skywalker. That's how threatening he is. You know, just moody and kind of like, you know, just unscary. You know? But here's the best thing. If all us fans really get sick and tired with Star Wars, and Rian Johnson brings out his awful trilogy, I think that the fans can do something about it by starting their own franchise. something that complements Star Wars and respects the legacy. It's been happening with comics, you know, because, yeah, if you start doing a franchise that is really, really popular, and it is kind of like, you know, just fantasy, you know, proper escapism, which there's plenty of things you can do. I'm going to make another video, actually, telling you about my ideas and my current story for my own franchise, which I am very proud of, and yeah, blah 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 blah. But I'll explain all that. I'll put some details in the description, you know, blah 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 blah. But yeah, that's the thing. We got, instead of sitting at a cinema watching subpar movies like Last Jedi, we don't have to be there. We can be creating our own genius stuff that is beautiful, you know. George Lucas is a genius because he was basically a nobody before Star Wars came out. He was a nobody, and yet he had this idea, and look, stop. Without George Lucas, the cinema business would be absolutely nowhere. ILM wouldn't exist without George Lucas, and Star Wars has been an influence throughout cinema history. That is movie history, pal. So yeah, all in all, I'd just say with Star Wars, you've got to enjoy it. But if it goes downhill, obviously it'll stop at some point. We'll just have to start creating our own stuff soon enough. And there's plenty of talented people out there that probably can easily do something much, much better than Last Jedi. Heck, there's probably some directors and screenwriters that are easily more talented. So instead of us saying, "Oh wait, if we don't like it, we should cry about it," I'm not mocking people about it. I'm just saying, if we can stop liking it, then I think it's time you move on. That's the best way forward. Anyway, thank you very much, and I will see you later.